Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm the teacher.
And I'm Owen, and I'm the athlete.
Powerlifting skill, Romanian deadlift.
Today we're going to be going over the powerlifting movement of the Romanian deadlift. All the equipment we are going to be using today can be found in a typical gym setup. We are going to be using a couple accessible tools to go over that motion with our athlete to make sure they still have the same foundational knowledge to work on the skill as their peers.
Use a tactile diagram to demonstrate the movement.
So we're going to feel our athlete. He's standing up nice and tall, and he's got that barbell right around waist height with his arms nice and straight. We'll feel up to the top of his head, and we'll feel how he is standing up nice and tall with that weight just resting in front of him about waist level. We can feel how he's got a nice straight back as we move down, and he's standing up nice and tall. Move on to our next motion, and we'll begin to feel how he brings that weight down and forward. So a lot of other people call this a reverse deadlift as well, because we're starting that deadlift from the top and moving that weight down towards the ground. So do you feel how he keeps his back nice and straight as that weight is moving forward down from his waist towards the floor?
Yes.
Great. Do you have any questions about the movement so far?
No.
Use an artist's figurine with the athlete to demonstrate the movement.
To start with, we've got our athlete standing up nice and tall. We'll position that bar in his hand so it's up against his waist, and he's standing up nice and tall. So Owen, can you see how he's got his feet about shoulder width apart?
Yep.
He's got a nice straight back and standing up nice and tall. And as we start that motion, we're gonna still have our nice slight knee bend, and we're gonna begin to bend at our waist with our hands and holding that bar, sliding down towards the floor. Notice how our artist figurine has a nice straight back the whole time. And once we get towards the floor, our back is gonna feel like it wants to start to bend again. As soon as we have reached that point, we'll just stand straight back up. And then once we begin to feel that kind of arch in our back, that's when we wanna stand straight back up with our artist figurine. So we're back in that starting position with our hands and that bar still nice and close to our hips.
Use tactile modeling to demonstrate the movement.
So Owen, in my hands, I've got our PVC pipe that's gonna represent our bar. And I'm gonna have you put your hands on my shoulders right now. And I want you to feel how I'm standing up nice and tall. I've got my hands on the small, thin band that's representing where our middle finger should go. And my arms are hanging kind of nice and loose in front of my body. And that bar is resting right below my hips against my body. So you can feel how I'm standing up nice and tall. I don't have an arch in my back like that. You'll be able to feel my back and feel how my back is nice and straight, right?
Yep.
Great, so I'm gonna begin that motion. I've got my feet about shoulder width apart, and that motion is gonna begin from our hips, and our hips are going to push backwards. You'll be able to feel my back, how it stays nice and straight. And as I begin to move forward, that bar just travels down my legs forward. And right about here is where my back starts to begin to arch. So do you feel how it's not quite as straight anymore?
Yeah.
That means I'm at the bottom of the lift right now, and then I can stand back up with my back nice and straight. And my arms don't move a whole lot. Did you feel my shoulders move at all? Besides just going down into that squat?
No.
Great.
Practice keeping a straight back through the lift with the athlete.
Before we move on to adding some weight, we're gonna use our PVC pipe to work on keeping our back nice and straight, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna demonstrate the movement real quick. I'm gonna put the pole behind me. So I'm gonna have my left hand at the top of the pole, right at the back of my head. And then I'm gonna take my right hand and grab the pole right at my waist height. So I want you to feel my back, how it's nice and straight, and how that pole is in contact with my waist, and the pole's in contact with my head with my left hand as well. So now I'm gonna begin to hinge at my waist and bend over at my waist a little bit. And do you feel how that stays in contact the whole time and how my back is nice and straight? So my head and my waist are in contact with the pole. It's nice and straight. That's that motion we want to be able to do during our Romanian deadlift the whole time. Okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna have you try that motion now, and we'll practice that together. Awesome. And now let's hinge at our waist. We'll bend forward, make sure that pole stays in contact with our head and our waist. And awesome. That's that motion we want to do. Come back up. Stand up nice and tall. Great.
The skill should increase in difficulty as the athlete progresses.
All right, Owen, so we have our barbell in front of us, so I'm gonna have you stand in front of it and use that thin, smooth line in between our grip to be able to pick that bar up. As we pick the bar up, I want you to focus on having a nice straight back, just so we can get into our ready position, okay?
Okay.
So straight back as you pull up. Awesome, pull up. Great, so now we're holding the bar. You've got a nice straight back. We have our hips nice and extended. Your arms are hanging down nice and good. So let's go ahead and start that motion. Bend at your waist. Keep that barbell nice and close to your legs. Much better straight back and come back up.
Be patient. It may take several attempts for the athlete to progress in the skill.
So that was the powerlifting skill of our Romanian deadlift. Through good teaching techniques, some adaptive equipment, powerlifting can be accessible to all athletes who are blind or visually impaired.
For more, visit the Sports Adaptations page at www.nwaba.org. Thank you for watching. Slide of NWABA logo.